Good evening and welcome to a new episode of our program, The Daily Debates. Wednesday evening, I'm Yasmin Bakir. Tonight we're going to be shedding light on Egypt's leading position in the Middle East and in the African continent. And of course, Egypt is a great nation. It's not just located at a very special geographic or demographic location, but also the pivotal role that Egypt is playing nowadays in terms of maintaining peace and stability, not just on its borders, but also around other countries, and the peaceful means and the political settlement that Egypt is trying to reconcile between whether they're different parties or factions or different misunderstandings or conflicts around the region, is all pouring into the benefit of securing the entire region. Now, today we're going to be specifically talking about the second round of the reconciliation meeting that's been taking place between the Palestinian factions on Tuesday and Wednesday. And not just that, but that's also a gateway to the for long stalled Middle East peace process. And what are we expecting in this new phase, especially as there's an upcoming elections, Palestinian elections. We're also going to be talking about the Libyan situation and the great efforts that Egypt has achieved in maintaining the peace and stability within the different Libyan political parties, and where has that been taking place. So basically, all that within the context of the pivotal role that Egypt is playing, again, as I said earlier, not only in the Middle East region, but also in the African continent. I'm very much delighted to have, of course, joining me this evening to discuss further light on that, His Excellency Ambassador Shamel Nasser, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good evening. Thank you for joining us, Your Excellency.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're going to, of course, definitely start off with our talks concerning the reconciliation process. But if you'd allow us to go out to this short report and taking a look at what happened during the meetings yesterday and today here in Egypt, and we'll be right back.
Delegations of Palestinian factions attended on Tuesday and Wednesday the second round of the National Dialogue, hosted in Cairo with a focus on removing obstacles facing the coming Palestinian elections. The second round took place to help Palestinian people hold their first national election in 15 years. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi addressed the participating delegations, expressing hope that the goals of the National Dialogue were achieved. On the first day of the National Palestinian Dialogue, factions signed a code of honor that affirmed their keenness on pursuing the electoral process in all its phases in a way that fulfills national unity and public interest. The Palestinian delegations vowed to adhere to all provisions of laws and decrees that regulate the election process to strengthen national unity and the public interest, as per the Code of Honor. The factions under the Code will abide by all regulations and instructions issued by the Election Supervisory Committee to achieve transparency and integrity, particularly preserving the principle of secret balloting and giving the Palestinians the right to cast ballots freely. They also agreed to avoid using the houses of worship as a tool for the electoral campaigns. The factions emphasized the need to respect the Palestinian police role in securing the election process, as well as respect the role of local, Arab and international observers. The second round of the Palestinian National Dialogue, which kicked off Tuesday, came per an Egyptian invitation for 15 different political Palestinian factions, along with the Palestinian National Authority and the Central Election Commission, to put aside the long-lasting political division and meet again in a second round in Cairo to prepare for upcoming elections. Palestinian factions held their previous round of talks this year in Cairo last month, during which they reached an agreement on the mechanisms for holding the parliamentary and presidential elections. The parliamentary elections are set to be held on the 22nd of May, while the presidential elections have been set for the 31st of July.